I'm just going to go for it.
Oh, you're being recorded.
Awesome. Right. Now, since the last time everyone has seen... Okay, that's cool. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Jaffa, and I have like a sense of humour which does not allow me on radio. I mentioned this earlier. Like what I've done is, like since the last time I saw you, took part in this competition for Wyvern Radio. Now, the feedback I got from the producers was, well, it was mentioned on the radio itself. The presenter said, "Now we want to play some of this material. And the only problem is we talked to our producers and they've said we can't if we want to stay on the air by tomorrow." The next presenter then said, actually we won't be able to do it if we stay on the air till 9 o'clock. So it was just progressively getting worse for me. Now, the reason that I wasn't done is because I did a routine which is literally based entirely around the word fuck. And apparently I was naive enough to think that might make it onto the radio. But I thought, yeah, well, you know what, I don't need these people. I don't need some sort of shitty radio competition. Because there is a place in St. John's. There is a place that likes me in St. John's. A place full of warm, happy people. A place full of warm, happy people. A place that has just had its first birthday. And a place that will allow me to say things I'm not allowed to say anywhere else. And they give me drink. It's great. I don't have to talk to the barmaid anymore. I just walk up and she did. Yeah, hold on. She'll give me the drink and this beautiful thing. And I love my drink. Now, everyone here, whether they know it or not, I'm about to talk about a thing called what I've dubbed drunken war cries. Now,
oh no!
A drunken war cry is when people get to a certain point of drunkenness and you know they are drunk because they will do or say one of the following things. Okay? Like everyone has a specific drunken war cry. I'm going to give you an example of a few of my friends. First one up, Lucy. Now, Lucy, when she's had about 6-7 pints, will suddenly start talking in third person. She will also start talking very negatively about herself. Oh, Lucy has been very naughty. Oh, I am not going to like this Lucy in the morning. No. Now, my best friend has two of these. He has an action and he has an actual verbal one. Now, Lee has this thing. Lee will fuck off. Without my knowledge. Okay? Like, okay, oh hey, like, Lee, come on, I want you to meet some people. Okay, everyone, this is Lee. Oh, the fuck! Lee, you dick! And apparently I do the same to him. Now, the other one is, like, he's a very, very happy, positive type, sort of person. And what he'll do is he will say, it's a good day to be a... and then substitute in whatever is in his line of sight. Now, if he's talking to you, he might just say, like, you know what, it's a good day to be a bed. It's a good day to be the Crown Inn. I found him after a night out in Velvet, looking at someone else's boob. And he didn't even say, but he said, it's a good day to be a coffee machine. And I don't know what he meant. And that bugs me. But I think my favourite drunken war cry, this girl doesn't even, well, there's two more of this. The first one is the change of the accent.
Oh no. No.
This girl, after a certain amount of drink, will move from well-spoken to Bristolian. Very subtly. Oh, hey, you're having a good night. Yeah. Oh, I'm having a great night. It's fantastic. You're a mate, lover. It's going fantastic. This is. You're from Bristol down here. We like you down here, Trotter. And then the final one, like, however, no matter how bad any of my friends' drunken war cries are, my favourite one is a Romanian friend of mine. The people who are clapping know this force of nature, known as Adina. Hi Adina, how you doing? Oops, I'm breaking the fourth wall. And Adina has this thing, like, the first time I ever met Adina, I didn't know whether she was drunk or not, but she joined up to the Theatre Society thing we were doing up at the uni. And the first thing she came over and said to me was, "Jeffy!" And she was like, she's the only one who calls me that, and I instantly know she's around. It's like, "Jeffy! How are you doing, darling? I've just been for a shit." It just made me so happy. And this girl has no shame. She's just wild. She's the sort of friend you introduce into situations just to see what the fuck happens.
Never was a
like the second night I ever saw her was like she somehow managed to top the "I've just taken a sheet" line. She came in with some poor, terrified man in tow. "Jeffy, how you doing? I don't have a bra." That's not it. The line was, "Look, Jeffy, this is the man I will be fucking tonight." That was the line. And I love her for that. And I love drinking. I'm a huge fan of drinking. I can remember, like, this will be interesting actually. How many people can remember the first time they were drunk? Like really full-on blitzed. Okay, a couple of people. Okay. I say I can remember. I can't really remember, but I was shown. Now, what I mean by that is, like, I came home after being to this house party thing, and my approach was just like to drink everything. Like people would say, like, "Look, here's a drink: Jägermeister, Sambuca, beer, Saga, sake." Good cover. Sake, whiskey, everything. Drank it all up. I know I had an entire bottle of Malibu, which at the time I thought was very manly. Anyway, I turned home, and there's Mama Jaffa looking at her bouncing baby boy, lying the wrong way up the stairs, spewing my guts up on the floor. And my parents, this is partly the reason why I've ended up this way. My parents' response was not everyone else's, which is just like, "Oh no, are you okay? Here, like, it's okay." But like, the girl, they hold their hair back, and they say, "Don't worry, we'll look after you, it's fine, have some water." No, not my parents, oh no. My parents filmed me. And like, what was annoying was, like, my dad was the cameraman, and you can see my mum doing that thing which everyone does on, you know, like. And in the background you can hear my dad saying, you just hear his voice at the end of the thing just before it's sort of like, he edited it to fade out afterwards. You can hear him saying, "You won't remember this. Today, all the time I'm talking about, because the first thing you did when you were born was to throw up on me. And what I have now is a video of you throwing up on yourself. Take that, you little bastard, I've waited 16 years for this." It's amazing the way I've turned out, really. So, and the drink. I think my favourite thing about drinking, though, is that I used to be the guy that do the sort of the crazy shit. I'd have an idea, and people would go like, "Fucking break out the popcorn." But now, like, I don't do that quite so much. It depends how sort of, like, I can get to that level, but it takes a lot. I've had training. I'm a professional now. But what I like to do is I like to sort of suggest things to other people so that they can do it. And I also delight in other people's suffering. Like, I mean, I literally have no shame. I'm the guy you see in HMV giggling at a Gary Glitter album because it had a parental advisory sticker on it. I like that. I do like that. But I think my favourite thing about sort of drunken people is drunk people who, the difference is between males and females when they've split up, and their responses to that, including alcohol. Who was that? Are you single today?
Yeah.
Excellent. There's no more to that, sorry. I just like it. But yeah, like guys, it's kind of hard to tell in a way that guys are actually split up, because their response is the same as when they're before, during, or after the relationship, which is like, it's like, hey, you want to flirt a bit? Yeah. It's like, don't you have a girlfriend? Yeah. Do you not have a girlfriend? Yeah. Let's flirt. But the girl's response after they split up is fantastic. It's just like, I don't need men! Fuck them all! No, don't fuck them all! They don't deserve to be fucked! I don't want anyone, like, just makeup streaming down their face with one tit hanging out over the shoulder. Just like, and then partway through the night they'll be like, yeah, I'm having fun with my girl. I know that's not how girls dance, it's more like, that's how I dance. And like, they'll be like, yeah, I'm dancing, having fun. And then all of a sudden they'll be like, none of them love me! And then they do this thing, like, I have seen this happen. They have gone round the bar. They've gone round the entire club, just going, love me! 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 And then at the end of all that, they finally get a man who says, do you want some loving? No, I'm a lesbian. And you don't hear guys say that. You don't hear guys going like, you know what, fuck this, I'm off to suck dick. So, and at the end of these drunken nights, I bike home because I'm too cheap to afford a taxi. And I get home and I don't go to sleep. I watch the news. I like to know what's going on in the world when I can't remember it. Because it's all shit. Now, we live in a country where people look forward to the weather report at the end of the fucking news. And this is Britain. We have shit weather, but is it infinitely more cheerful than the news? The news could literally be, we are fucked. Here's the weather. And I like the news though. The news fucks with my head when I'm drunk. So there's a thing on the screen, and there's a thing going along the bottom of the screen. And I don't know which one to look at. And I try and focus on one. And then this voice pops into my head. Look at the screen, now back to me. Now look at the screen, now back to me. I am not the screen, I'm the football score you didn't want to know. Now back to me. I'm on a horse. Old Spice. And there are several things you see on the news, like Israel and Gaza. Israel and Gaza is on the news every now and again. Palestine have just become part of the UN. I'd love to introduce Adina to that meeting. Shall Palestine be part of the UN? You racist bastard! I'm off for a sheet! But, I remember a thing about Israel and Gaza. I don't know how many people know this, but a couple of years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, Worcester tried to twin with Gaza. Now, I would love to see the school exchange trips. Their children will come over here and experience a warm bowl of sugar, a bowl of sugar puffs, a shower which you can drink the water from if you were so inclined. It's better than what they've got. They might not be too happy to go to Kidderminster, but still, they would come over here. We would go over there, the children would go over there and get the living shit blown out of them. And it's incredibly ironic that Worcester, or anywhere in Britain, would want to twin with Gaza, because their entire situation is the UK's fault. This has been going on since World War I. At the end of World War II. At the end of World War II, Britain was revelling, having won the World War. And then they said, fuck, we've got a lot of Jews left over. We didn't quite plan for the housing permissions for this. So what they did was they fucked all the Arabs out of Gaza, out of Palestine, and they just made Israel. And I fucked that up. So what they did, this is like Brett now. What they did was they just fucked all the Arabs out of Israel and put the Jews there and thought, well, that'll be that. They should get on fine. A completely volatile race in the place of someone else's home. That is the equivalent of the British Board of Ethics making Mike Tyson the second dragon of the Ku Klux Klan to combat racism. Or, to combat homophobia, they parachute Alan Carr into the God Hates Fags home brandishing a dildo. And I want to see that, because either way, it'll be fucking funny which one dies. It'll either be death by beating or death by dildo. Something else you see on the news, Prime Minister's Question Time. Now, I've been to see Prime Minister's Question Time because at school I was one of those pampered pricks that won the debating society thing. I just like to argue, and I won Leader of the Opposition. And I got to go to Parliament and I got to see Prime Minister's Question Time. And I was told that this is where they debate what's going on in the country. They said it'll be fucking brilliant. Well, the teacher didn't say it would be fucking brilliant. It's much more like, it'll be amazing. You'll get to see how they talk over the discussions, and they're very educated, and they'll talk about things. And I watched it, and it was at the time when David Cameron was Leader of the Opposition. And he made an incredibly biting remark, it seemed. Because he said, like, well, I think you'll find the Deputy Prime Minister is acting like a rodeo cowboy with the finances. And everybody else applauded him like it was fucking funny. They just, he's so droll. And I was there, what the fuck is this shit? I am watching white, upper-class pricks trying to be black New York insult comics. And I think we should take that theme and run with it. We need Prime Minister... We need Prime Minister's bitching time. A place where all the politicians can just shout at each other. Like, right. Mr. Speaker, I'm going to address the first issue of the day. My mother is so fat. She needs to put her belt on with a boomerang. Your thoughts, Leader of the Opposition? Well, I know your mother, and she has less policies than you do. And it would get to a point where all the politicians would just be arguing and shouting and raving, and there would be Mr. Speaker going, order! Order! Just like I did all your mamas! So, there's that. And then the other thing, like, some of you will have done this, like, in fact, probably most people will have done this. When you are drunk, and you have gone back to someone else's house, and realised that you're not actually going to get laid, you start philosophical discussions. Like God. The idea of God. Now, people have told me stories about why they believe in God. People have told me stories about, like, I personally, I don't believe in God. I believe in chaos and chance. I think it's a lot more fun. Like, case in point, story to illustrate this. A Christian friend of mine, he said that a man had pissed on a church. He'd gone home, he was drunk, he pissed on a church, and a week later, that was the reason he spontaneously combusted. Which is a bit overzealous of God, if I don't mind saying, if this be true. I'm not saying it, he did. However, I just thought it would be more fun to think that people randomly explode. Makes you see your friends in a whole new light. And something else I don't believe in God is that, I don't know, like whenever I talk about God, a lot of my friends sort of clench up and they get a bit sort of iffy because they know my views and they know what I'm like. But I got talking to a youth Christian mission group, and some of the stuff they were saying just kind of, like, it irritated the shit out of me. I don't like this sort of militant thing. If you have your own personal faith, that's fine, keep it to you, that's cool. However, there was a blonde bitch who kind of pushed me buttons. And the landlord knew, so he said, look, Jaffa, whatever you do, don't piss off the Christians. Why? What are they going to do? Forgive me? forgotten half of it, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to end on a Christian pirate-related story. One of the reasons I don't believe in Christianity, or I can't at least follow the sort of thing as it's been presented to me thus far, is because of the Bible. There are a lot of contradictions in the Bible. You all know this, and I don't want to be Bible bashing. This is just what I thought in me head when I was presented with these facts. Now, God at the beginning gave everybody free will, followed by a list of 10 things we're not allowed to do, and some of them are really fun. And I was talking to one of my Christian friends who I class as an intellectual because he hadn't ruled out the dinosaurs. And he said, they're not actually commandments. They're guidelines. And at that point, my head switched off because I didn't see my intellectual dinosaur-believing Christian friend. I saw Captain Barbossa from Pirates of the Caribbean. First of all, the negotiation that I must actually follow these rules was never part of the arrangement. Secondly, you have to be a Christian for the Christian code to apply, and you're not. And thirdly, the Christian code isn't so much rules, more like guidelines. Welcome aboard planet Earth, Jesus Christ. You best start believing in fairy tales. You're in one. Thank you very, very fucking much for coming. It's been an absolute pleasure. Will you please give it up one more time for James Humphreys? James Eagle!